My name is Mohammed Yosef, and this is Channel 13 Jerusalem News. It is a beautiful day in Jerusalem, a nice day to take the kids out for a family day of fun. But I'm here to tell you about a man named Haggai. He is a crazy man going around saying he's going to rebuild the temple of God. Now there is also a book in the Bible named Haggai. It was written around 520 BCE. And this took place around about 18 years after Cyrus had conquered Babylon. Also around this time period, the Jews were captive in Babylon. So Cyrus essentially let them go free and let them go back to Judea, which is their home. He also allowed them to rebuild the temple. Now in our modern day of 2013, we also have a man named Haggai wanting to rebuild the temple. Now, by the end of the book of Haggai, there was a prediction of the downfall of kingdoms. Now, obviously, we're a little worried about the rebuilding of the temple because we don't want the great kingdoms of our modern world to downfall. So here we have a man on the case here at the rebuilding of the temple. Back to you.
Shalom, Mohammed. Here we are at the scene of the building of the temple. Haggai is here right now, and we're about to go speak to him about his work. Shalom, Haggai.
Oh, shalom.
I am Elisha with the Channel 13 News of Jerusalem.
I see.
I'm here to ask you a few questions about your work here of building the temple.
Okay, yes.
So, first of all, I want to know, why are you building this temple here?
Well, God told me to, so I decided that it was probably best if I did what he said.
That's a pretty good idea. Are you aware that there's another man named Haggai who was also called by God to build the temple?
No!
You did not know of this.
No, interesting.
He was in the Bible, and it's called, his book in the Bible is called Haggai, yes.
That is my name.
That is your name. Now, also, are you aware that this is private property that you own?
Yes, but I feel that God will protect.
You still want to do it?
Yes.
Even if it is?
Oh, yes.
Well, then we can see that you're very dedicated to your work. So,
Thank you.
Thank you for your time,
Oh,
and
no problem.
back to you, Mohammed.
Thank you, Elisha. Now we're going to be introducing a new segment of the show called The Great Interpreter, hosted by Noah O'Kelly. Enjoy!
Shalom, everyone. Welcome to the Great Interpreter. My name is Noah O'Kelly, and today we're going to have a special guest named Zachariah.
Shalom!
Shalom!
I am Zachariah.
Oh, yes, you are, indeed.
Yes.
So, I've heard of late that you have been having some visions.
Quite a few, actually. 3 so far.
Oh, interesting. That is very interesting. Now, why don't you tell me?
Well, if you'd like to hear the first one, I'll tell you about that first. And it was about this man, and he was on a red horse. Yes, red horse. Yes.
Red horse?
Yes. So behind this man on the red horse, there was a red horse, a speckled horse, and a white horse.
Interesting. And that is the ending of the vision?
Well, there also was an angel of the Lord that said he had sent these horses out to tell about peace, but there is no peace in Israel, so I don't know what they are talking about.
Interesting. Let me think about those. Well, the red horse, from what I know in the book of Revelation, is shrouded in mystery. I don't know much about the red horse, but I can move on to the speckled horse. Now, the speckled horse is known as the modern Appaloosa.
Appaloosa, very interesting.
Yes, the Appaloosa. It looks a little bit like this. With the Appaloosa, in the Bible, it never is anything good. It's almost always something that is bad. And for the last horse, which is the white horse, it's very interesting. It can be one of two ways. Jesus is going to ride on a white horse, and it is also told that the Antichrist will ride on a white horse to fool people. So it could be one of the two.
Yes, thank you. I suppose I'll go to my second vision, which is about 4 horns and 4 craftsmen. The 4 horns were apparently spread throughout the land, and the 4 craftsmen were also spread through the land, and they're supposed to, I guess you would say, terrify the people who took up the horns against Judah. I guess to punish them for what they did. I'm not sure what it means though, other than that.
Well, that's very interesting. Well, when I think about the 4 horns, the first thing that comes to mind is them being a symbol of power.
Oh, power.
Yes, power. And now when I think about these 4 horns, the only thing I think is that they have to mean the 4 major nations of the Gentiles at this point, which, according to my text and in the Bible, these nations have to be Babylon, Media, Persia, Greece, and Rome.
Very interesting.
Yes, and that's the 4 horns at this point.
So the 4 horns are these places, is what you're saying?
I'm saying that they are most likely symbolizing them. And now the 4 craftsmen.
Carpenters, craftsmen, same difference. It's okay.
Okay. Well, it is extremely difficult to identify the carpenters. At least from what I'm thinking. I can't think of many things that the carpenters identify themselves with. Jesus.
Yes, he was a carpenter.
Yes, he was. And also, it's interesting because carpenters are usually building up, tearing down. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Well, I was thinking maybe that has to do with something. Perhaps God is giving an example of destroying by creating.
That is a very good possibility. Very good.
Yes.
Well, that seems like a very nice conclusion to my second vision. So I'll tell you my third. Basically, in my third vision, it talks about how basically an angel says that this guy is supposed to go measure all of Jerusalem, which is just insanity, in my opinion, because it's just too much for one simple guy, and I don't understand what is going on there.
Well, you see, I need to think for a second. First, to identify the surveyor, which is, of course, the guy who is going to measure Jerusalem.
Yes.
The first thing I think of is Ezekiel, back when he saw the same thing, but except it was different in this way, that he was going to measure a millennial temple instead of Jerusalem. And in that passage, it gives a lot more details about this man, and the details make it seem like it's possibly the angel of the Lord. So, it is very possible that in these 2 situations, that man is one and the same.
Oh, really? That is very, very good, in my opinion. Thank you.
Well, the way I see it, after the vision, I see very many proceedings that are promised from this vision. 5 of them, in fact. I think that it's very possible that Jerusalem will enjoy expansion. That could be very possible. Or 2, not necessarily all, but also, Jerusalem will experience special but divine protection and glory. That is also a very possibility. C, or 3, if you speak in numbers, Israel will be restored. I think this is a very promising one, because these are promises. And, are you okay?
I had another vision. I just had
Color my pencils
Yes, do color them.
on my show.
Color them.
On my show.
I just had one on during your show. My
This
turban
is
is falling
interesting.
off in excitement.
You have to tell me about this vision. Goodness.
Yes, this vision. It talks about something about, what was it? Joshua and how
Yes.
Satan is accusing him. Yes, that's what it was.
Yes.
And how basically God sort of defends him. And
Well,
I mean,
yes.
yes,
Yeah.
that's a little bit fuzzy, but
I see that there has been resemblances between your visions and the ones in Haggai.
Yes,
no,
yes.
no, not Haggai. Zachariah. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
yes.
I feel that they're very similar, so we can assume that you are going to have 8 visions in total. But not only this, but here's the thing: we can assume that your visions are on key, correct? Like they're in line with the ones in Zachariah. For instance, if we're talking about Joshua, the high priest, that means this is Joshua, the son of Josedech, spoken of in Zechariah and a lot. And he was the priest at the time of rebuilding the temple.
So you think this is the same
Yes,
Joshua?
this has to be. The vision that you're having, it is so similar. The angel of the Lord, sort of speak for yourself.
Oh, yes.
And of course, Satan, which...
Oh, yeah, that's...
Anyways, moving on. And of course, Joshua's clothing, which
his
I was.
clothing,
Did you see anything?
Yes, I did. Now that I'm thinking about it, yes.
Well,
Clothing.
this is definitely in accord with each other. You see, the filthy garments worn by Joshua are representative of the sins of all Israel, including her apostasy.
Oh, yes.
So I think that it is very, very likely, more on the likely side, that you're going to have visions similar to that of Zechariah.
I understand. Yes, I understand. It's very strange. I mean, I have the same name. Maybe it has something to do with that. I don't understand why his name is so cursed
Yes.
to have visions, but
Well, I would say it's a blessing.
well, I guess you could say that also.
Well, I suppose since you don't have any more visions for us.
No, I do not.
Okay, well, that has to be the end of our show. Thank you.
Thank you, Shimano. Yes. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Noha Ocheli. That pretty much concludes our show. I'll see you next week.